This is a Toshiba Satellite Pro 440 CDT from 1997. This thing has a Pentium 133 MMX, 80 megabytes of RAM, an OPL3 sound card, and 2 megabytes of some whatever graphics. But the graphics are not really what's important about this thing. What is important about this thing is that it's a very, very good time capsule of the 1990s gaming period. The screen's actually pretty good. You find, usually with these LCDs, you get a really bad glare, you get a really bad trailing, a ghosting effect on the screen that makes it really bad to play games. But this one actually has surprisingly good colors, and it actually doesn't have any of those trailing issues I was just talking about. Now, as you can already tell, I've already done the fixes and whatever to get this thing running. It just had a bad hard drive when I bought it. Picked it up a couple of weeks ago off Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, I picked it up off of Facebook Marketplace off of this older family that I'm pretty sure they must have used it pretty extensively in its time. But yeah, the hard drive was basically dead in it. It had a period where it started working again, but then it just completely gave up. So at some point I'm gonna end up smashing the hard drive or something. But yeah, no, this thing works, and it actually works pretty well. Alongside its actually pretty decent capabilities, this thing is pretty good on the multimedia side as well. It's got some sort of modem on the side. It's got this one has a CDR drive, or not CDR, CD-ROM drive, and this one in this model of laptop is actually replaceable. You could swap it out for a floppy drive if you have one, and it's got a whole swath of ports on the back. It does have one USB port, which I haven't really done much work to try and get it working, but when I did try it, it didn't. It's got an output, a VGA output. It's got a PS2 port for a keyboard and mouse. It's got an infrared sensor. It's honestly pretty interesting stuff. On the side here, where the power switch is, it's got a cover on it so you can open and close it. So, you know, you don't accidentally hit the button, which is okay, I guess. Right under that, there's a port to plug in an external floppy drive. And that is about it for the outside. When you open it up, you can see that the keyboard's got, if I could get it in the shot, the keyboard has a nub that's very, very similar to the kind of ones you would see in ThinkPads. Speaking of floppy drives, I went on eBay and bought this untested floppy drive a couple weeks ago. It showed up last week, and it was honestly a little bit of a gamble because, like I said, this thing was not tested. But I had a feeling that the person who owned it simply didn't have one of these laptops to test it with. And my suspicion was correct, because this thing actually works perfectly fine, and it's actually pretty clean too. So with that there, let's get this thing plugged in by opening up the side port there, and then plug that in, hear the click, and now we've got our floppy drive right here. And what I'm going to be doing with this laptop today is just kind of show off what it was like to play games in the 90s on a PC like this. So right here in front of me, I've got a copy of Doom 1.2 on its 4 floppy disks. These are not original, of course. One day I'll have some, but today is not that day. They're very expensive. So we are going to boot into DOS and, well, just install Doom and play some Doom and see how that runs. To get into DOS, of course, you can restart in Windows 98 to get into DOS mode, or you can use a floppy boot disk, which I have right here. At my workplace a couple weeks ago, I had to clean out our offices, and I found a good amount of floppy disks and old software and stuff, including this, which I'm pretty sure is some sort of OEM. I think this is an OEM disk. But yeah, this will boot you in to either get into the 98 setup or get straight into DOS. So, just by plugging this in here and booting up our laptop, we should eventually boot into our prompt. And there we go. without CD-ROM. We are not using the CD drive, so I'm not going to wait for the drivers to load up because it does take a while with these older ones. Let it click away, and we're in. So what we can do now is we can take that disk out of the drive right here, and we can put in our Doom disk number 1. With that inserted, I guess we can, I mean, we're already on the A drive, so we can do dir, get it to read the disk. And I think if we just to install, it will boot up the install batch file. That drive is none available. C. Yeah, we'll do C. Doom. And we will create it. And now it's just a matter of waiting and putting in the disk whenever it tells you to. So I'm just kind of going to let that go. And maybe I'll do like a time lapse or something of this going through. So now it's prompting us to put the second disk in. So I will do that right now. Come on. Get out of here. And then enter key. Disk number 3. Old one out. Put it to the side. Put number 3 in. Final disk. Obviously, there's far less data on this disk. It's going by the percentage much quicker. Gonna put the first disk back in again so the game can uncompress everything. And we are done. All in all, that took about 8 to 10 minutes. It actually wasn't that bad. I mean, in total, that was probably like 4.5 megabytes. So, I mean, you can tell from that floppy drives are pretty friggin' slow. But yeah, so we go music card, and we will go Sound Blaster. There we go, and use that and play. Play on ultraviolence on keyboard only. Let's go. Let's increase the screen size, and look, it runs fucking great. There's no default controls. It's nice to hear how crispy the sound is when it's like on one of these original chips, man. Gotta love it, bro. Honestly, man, there's nothing better than just messing around with shit like this. I love it. And these controls, not that bad. Obviously, I'm choosing not to strafe. You can probably change the controls and get better strafing, but this is just default Doom, and it plays great, man. It's honestly a great little machine, and it actually looks, like I said, the screen, very, very good for one of these things. Very, very little ghosting. It's very smooth. So for $70, that's how much I paid for this thing, and only very minimal repairs required. Pretty good deal, I must say. So for the last part of this video, I figured I'd just kind of show the general performance of Quake as well, and we'll take a look at Quake II. Honestly, games from around 1996 are kind of the ceiling for performance-wise for this thing that it can handle, which is okay, because I believe we're running at 320 by 200 on Quake here, and it runs honestly very smooth for, you know, software rendering. I don't believe this thing has any sort of hardware accelerated 3D. So this is kind of the best you're gonna get. Let's see, we can do a bigger screen size. And look, we're still fine. Game looks great. And then let's shoot one enemy. Plays fine. No slowdowns or anything. Even when we get out here, it's not that bad. It's pretty good. Where it gets tricky is Quake II. Yeah, no, this game does not run good at all on this thing, which is kind of to be expected because Quake II is, at this point, is kind of expecting hardware accelerated graphics. You could play in software rendering mode, but you're not going to get any of the, I believe it's the colored lighting and stuff that you're not going to get. Let's go down to 320 by 240. And there we go. Yeah, let's see how it plays. You can see right away it's way less playable. There's so much going on with the effects and the explosions and stuff like that. You could definitely play it like this. I bet you if I was like a really desperate kid, I would definitely play Quake II like this. But it's far from ideal, of course. Quake I runs a whole lot better. And this thing, of course, excels even better at Doom and other DOS games of that nature, like I have on my desktop. I have Blood, Duke Nukem 3D, and Redneck Rampage. Blood being my absolute favorites. And this game runs pretty good, too. I believe we're at 320 by 200 or 320 by 240 as well. But yeah, no, this game. Also, I have the graphics turned down, no voxels, because that really does bring this system to its knees. Obviously, runs a little bit worse than Doom. It's to be expected. This game is a lot more complicated. But yeah, no, honestly, it's still a very good experience, though.